The talking drum that called the dead. Long before the road reached Amanze, before tin roofs replaced thatch and radios learned to speak louder than crickets, the village lived by sound. Morning was announced by pestles striking mortars. Evening arrived on the wings of cowbells and children's laughter. But above all sounds, there was one that ruled them all: the drum. It was called Ukpo Muo, the drum of spirits. The elders said it was older than the village itself. Some claimed it was carved from a tree struck by lightning and hollowed by ritual fire. Others whispered that the skin stretched across its mouth was not animal hide at all, but something far older, something that once breathed. The drum lived inside the shrine at the edge of Amanze, where the forest grew thick and the air never felt entirely warm. No child played there. No hunter rested there. Even the wind seemed to slow as it passed. Only during festivals, New Yam, the Feast of Ancestors, the crowning of a new elder, was the drum brought out. And when it was beaten, the entire village fell silent, not because they were told to, because their bones remembered. The elders warned the people often, especially the young. If the drum sounds at midnight, do not answer. Do not step outside. Do not call back, no matter who calls your name. They never explained why, and in Amanze, explanations were not demanded. Ifeanyi, son of restless hunger. Ifeanyi did not believe in warnings. He was young, strong, and impatient with the slow dignity of village life. While others farmed and waited for seasons to turn, Ifeanyi wanted now. He watched traders pass through Amanze with fine cloth, shiny shoes, radios that sang with voices from nowhere. He wanted money, real money, the kind that silenced elders and bent time. When his father died, the village mourned. When his mother followed a year later, Ifeanyi mourned only briefly, then grew bitter. The ancestors, he felt, had taken too much and given nothing back. So when he heard a trader whisper one evening that sacred artifacts sold for fortunes in the city, something hardened in him. That night, as the moon finned to a sharp white curve, Ifeanyi made his choice. The theft. He went to the shrine just before midnight. The forest was wrong that night. No insects sang, no leaves stirred. Even his footsteps sounded too loud, as though the earth itself was listening. The shrine door resisted him, not locked, just unwilling. Ifeanyi forced it open anyway. The drum sat where it always had, resting on carved stones, its surface dark and faintly glossy, as if it breathed. He hesitated then. For the first time, doubt brushed his chest. Then he remembered hunger, and pride, and anger. He lifted the drum. It was warm. He almost dropped it. But greed has a way of tightening the hands. He wrapped it in cloth and fled, not looking back. Behind him, deep in the shrine, something exhaled. Midnight curiosity. In his hut, Ifeanyi barred the door and set the drum down. The silence pressed against him until his ears rang. Just one beat, he thought, just to see. The elder's warning echoed in his mind, but curiosity shouted louder. Midnight came. Ifeanyi raised his hand and struck the drum. The sound that came out was not loud. It was deep. It sank into the floor, into the walls, into his chest. Then the drum answered back, not with rhythm, with voices. The dead remember. Ifeanyi. His breath froze. The voice was soft, familiar. His mother's voice called, gently, from beneath the earth. Ifeanyi, my son, it called. Why do you hide from me? The walls of the hut trembled. Another voice joined. His grandfather, stern, patient, dead for decades. Come outside. The night is cold. More voices followed, old neighbors, children who died young, names he had only heard in stories. They rose together, surrounding the hut, pressing closer with every breath. The ground knocked, the door shook. Ifiani, they called, again and again. Come and answer. Do not be afraid. We are family. Tears streamed down his face as he pressed his back against the door. I won't open, he sobbed. I won't. The voices softened. That was worse. The waiting. Hours passed. The voices did not leave. They waited. Sometimes they sang lullabies his mother once sang. Sometimes they argued among themselves. Sometimes there was only breathing, slow, patient breathing, right outside the door. Just before dawn, silence fell. Ifiani, shaking and exhausted, slumped to the floor. The first rooster crowed. Morning came. What dawn found. When villagers came to check on Ifiani, his hut stood open, empty. No signs of struggle, no footprints leading away. Only the drum remained. It was back at the shrine, resting in its place, still warm. The curse that remains. The elders said nothing when they found it. They only added a new warning to the old one. Since that day, when the talking drum beats itself at midnight without human hands, someone in Amanze dies before sunrise. No one ever answers the call, no one ever goes outside, and the drum is never cold. Lesson. Some sacred things are not meant to be owned. Some sounds are doors, and some warnings exist not to frighten the living, but to keep the dead away.